And I in my mind, I'm thinking, this has to relate to, I'm having a divine experience. That's my mind going here. And, after Jesus sacrificed himself, it's, some believers say that he went to hell and brung people out from hell back into this world. Now, a psych facility would be a good variation of modern day hell. And I'm thinking that I sacrificed myself by walking into this facility and allowing the demons, quote unquote, to persecute me. And now I'm in a negative environment to where I have to help some people here. That's why I think I'm actually here. Okay. So it's like a divine experience I'm going through, and I'm here to help people who are lost or demonic or totally overtaken by the darkness. Right. And I'm kind of thinking that, but at the time I'm also thinking, wow, this is a lot of negative energy I'm feeling. I don't know. I didn't know what it was at the time, but now I know. Now I can perceive it was negative energy. And it's as if I had a lot of light and the darkness was just all coming into me. Like I was soaking up all demonic energy that was in the area. So I was uneasy the whole night. I could not sleep. And this is why I woke up. And I'm walking around. She keeps telling me to go to sleep. I'm not listening to her. And eventually she gives up. And none of the other workers is even talking to me. They're reading the Bible. Super weird. Okay? And I go into a room. It's called a recreational room. They have this room for people who can't sleep. Like they get to color or read. And there's this woman there. There's a girl. She can't sleep either. And I sit next to her. Like I sit like across from her actually, and I said, "Hey, I'm Leon. What's your name?" And she looks around, and she comes close to my ear, and she says, "My name is Carmen, like your sister." Man, how would this patient, who should not know me, nevertheless know my sister's name? How does she know this information? Maybe my best friend or the people who put me in here told the doctors my information, but why would the doctors tell the patients? It's super weird, like out of a horror flick. And I just look at her, and then she gets up and leaves. And I'm like, whoa, that's super weird. And I see she left a book about Yahweh. It was a book of Yahweh, of poems or psalms or something like that. And in my mind, I just thought of, I have to recreate the world. That in some way I affected the world or destroyed the world through what was going on with me, and I had to rebuild it. And I had to do it by 6 a.m. I don't know why, but I somehow connected the Genesis story of God created the world in 7 days to the time, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. or 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. Like I had to do it before 7 a.m. actually. And so I had to finish this book. And this book is there speaking about Yahweh, about Jesus Christ, about the Son of Yahweh, and we love Yahweh and praising Yahweh and his glory. And this woman comes back and she tries to get close to me as if she's physically attracted to me. This is when the security guard rushes in the room and tells her to stop getting close to me. Don't touch him. And I apologize for what was going on. He said, no, you're fine. You don't have to worry. And then he was just really coming at her, not at me at all. And something inspired me to read this entire book. So I'm walking around reading the book. As I'm walking around and reading this book, there's like a holding facility where they hold really disruptive patients that can't control themselves. And they lock them in this room. And so as I'm walking in this room, I see her in the darkness of this room, dancing provocatively and looking directly at me. And she tells me to come in. Super weird. I don't. I ignore it completely. And I essentially finished the book. I read the entire book before 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., something like that. I'm just say 7 a.m. And then 7 a.m. hits, and it's really extremely weird because the nurse comes up and says, "You're such a good guy. You're such a good guy, a good person." And I say, "Yeah, I try to be." And she said, "No, a lot of people try, but you are." I don't know to this day what was going on or why that mattered. And I start walking around the entire facility because I want to know, can I leave? Can I escape? Like, I want to know, just get information about the area. And these patients start coming out their rooms. Like 3 patients came out their room and looked at me and said, "Thank you, Jesus. We love Jesus. Thank you, Jesus." And I'm like, whoa, what is going on? And at the time, I don't know if I said it previously in the story, but I have some inclination that I may be Jesus or connected to Jesus or God or Source, or I'm the creator or something like that, And that's why it's really weird, because now it's like they're saying I'm Jesus, but it gets weird. At the time, I don't know what's going on, so I ignore it. And food comes, and and we eat breakfast. And this is my first time meeting the individuals here, right? And I meet the individuals here. There's one guy who's like, to me, if you ever seen Michael Myers, or you ever seen Michael Myers or Halloween, and the spirit that's within that body, it's as if I saw that negative spirit in a patient there. Like, he would talk to me. He would say how much he wanted to kill people and how the devil's in them. And I was like, I didn't really think much of it. I didn't care. I was like, yeah, okay, bro, like, and whatever. And also, there was a person who looked like Socrates there, a person who looked like Athena there, these fictional characters in modern day format. And I was meeting them. And it's like I could see their souls, or their soul's expression. Even Krampus, the evil Santa Claus. Super weird. And I actually, just to get this out the way really quickly, I actually would put on a Socrates, because we had TV there. So I put on a documentary about Socrates, and that guy came out his room and came into that room and said, "That's me, I'm that, I'm Socrates, that's me." And it's super weird because this guy would take books that he wouldn't read, or maybe he did read them, I don't know, but he would just hoard a whole bunch of books, and it seemed like he was mentally, kind of, everywhere. And he loved fighting too. He loved MMA. It's super weird. And the Krampus guy, the one that I saw that looked like Krampus the evil clown, but it would be the spirit of Krampus within the human, this guy's human body. And he would look at me and just walk away. He wouldn't really respond, but he'll get kind of upset and then leave. So it was weird, and I would tell people, like, maybe you're like Athena, or maybe you're like this God, because I'm trying to simulate the aspects of gods that people have within this world, because we all have them. And we're closely related to a certain mythological essence, I would say. And, so it's my first day, and I'm already going through it, but essentially everybody there is pretty nice to me. There is this one African American young lady that's there, maybe mid-20s, and she's fascinated with me, like obsessed with me, constantly won't leave me alone. And somehow, in my mind, it's as if God created certain, like, took out the aspects of people and materialized them as human beings and put them in this psych facility. So one person there, it's as if my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend, or whatever you want to call her at the time, like Like how much she didn't trust me, or how afraid she was of what I was speaking about, was taken out of her by God and materialized to a human being. And then I met this human being in this psych facility. It was something like that. You know, as if like I'm going to take a person's fear and then create an individual from that fear, you know. And so I was meeting individuals like that. And what really shocked me is one individual that looked almost exactly like my best friend, quote unquote, who put me in this psych facility. He had curly hair, he had pale skin, he was short, but this guy was skinny. The only difference to me was one was skinny, and my best friend's like, he's a little bit overweight, but this guy was skinny. And he comes to me and he tells me, he essentially calls me the devil. And what I didn't know is that when I went to sleep, something happened. He told me that he tried to get sharpen a pencil, and he tried to come into my room to kill me.